Welcome to the Mouth That Roared. Free speech, real opinions, and more exclusively on Podbean.com. Check out the video version of this show. I like to call it Chris C TV, exclusively on YouTube and Facebook. And now, without further ado, here is the host of the Mouth That Roared, me, Chris Sheehan. Hello everybody and welcome to today's edition of the Mouth That Roared, exclusively on Podbean.com. I am your host, Chris Sheehan, and on today's show, this is part 2 of the whole Brett Kavanaugh, whatever you want to call this. I guess shitfest would be the term that I personally would use. But you know what? Brett Kavanaugh, he is finally, for those of you that haven't heard, he has finally been sworn in as the Supreme Court Justice with a final, I don't know what you call this, I guess tally or score. I mean, since I'm into sports, I'll call it a score. I don't give a fuck. But 50-48 is what he was confirmed by. I mean, it's a lot closer than I personally would have liked it to have been. But you know what? It's, at least he got it nonetheless, you know, at least people weren't able to threaten him and to force him to resign and not, you know, put his name out there. And I mean, let's face it, if the Democrats had their way, that's exactly what they would want. I mean, you saw all the protests. I mean, there were protests all over the country, not just in D.C. I mean, New York, California, all kinds of places that, you know, people just are unhappy with this whole thing. And you know what? I have a little something to say to all of those people. That's exactly what I'm going to say, because you know what? I am tired of people. I slobbered on the microphone when I did that, but that's alright. I am tired of people that, you know, think that if they go out and protest and they go out and they maybe, you know, do some damage to things and to, you know, pretend or act as if they have some kind of power, that it's going to help situations. You know, it's not. Nothing's going to help anybody, honestly. I mean, if you're going to do all of that, if you're going to be, you know, very defiant and very, you know, just want to be a cause of chaos, you know, you're not going to win. That's just how I look at it. I mean, I feel like that's what a lot of these protesters and all, that's what they expect. They expect to be just complete ignorant, you know, they expect to be completely ignorant. That's what people expect from these people, you know, and that's just how I look at it. So, in a way, when I see the protesters, I am glad that Kavanaugh won. Now, what does this mean for the future of the country? Now, the future of the country, I think, honestly, is in good hands to a certain extent. I think, you know, just so long as we are able to control the majority of the Senate and the House of Representatives and all that kind of stuff. And by we, I mean Republicans, you know, because let's face it, the Republicans are the ones, in my opinion, that have all the brains. And just, you know, that's really how I look at it. I think the Republicans have the brains. I think the Democrats, they don't really contribute the brains. If anything, they contribute the money at this point. And I think, you know, that's what it's going to be all about. Now, as for Kavanaugh, I think that, you know, he will be I want to say that, you know, all I want to say about Kavanaugh is that really he will be a good Supreme Court justice. You know, that's all you can hope for. I mean, the things that he's been through, you hope that this will give him a little waking up, you know, so to speak. Like, it will improve him as a person. It will improve him as a political, or, well, as a judge, or as even a political figure. And, you know, that's really all you can hope for. You know, you hope that his family and all is able to overcome this, himself is able to overcome this, and everybody can just be accepting of this decision. Now, you know, as for, again, I want to bitch a little bit about the Democrats some more, because, you know, people like Feinstein or Feinstein, whatever the bitch's name is. I can't even pronounce her name. I don't know. You know, whatever her name is, she is a very, how do I put this delicately, a very, you know, bitchy kind of person. I mean, you know, she's not too pleasant. She is very hard to please. And, you know, that's just how it is. You got to deal with people like that. And it's not just her, but it's many other Democrats in the Senate. So hopefully they will be able to impress some of those people, although I highly doubt it. You know, people like Cory Booker and all of that, who basically act like a bunch of little babies, and they go and protest, and they refuse to vote and all. You know, that all plays into the hand of this whole, why this country is going through all this chaos. But you know what? I digress, because my opinion apparently means nothing to anybody. You know, politicians could give a shit about my opinion. I mean, people listening to this could give a shit about my opinion. I am just a man, you know, that's all I am. That's all I am capable of. So with all that being said, Kavanaugh again, he is the Supreme Court Justice. Now tomorrow I have a part 3 video, because I want to talk a little bit about the actual, well, the so-called, not the actual victim, but the so-called victim, which is Christine Ford. I want to give my views on that, and spoiler alert, just a little warning, it has some colorful language, so I suggest that, you know, if you like that, then you will enjoy this video, or, well, you will enjoy this podcast tomorrow. If not, then I suggest that you do not listen to it. But with that being said, without further ado, I want to wrap this up, and I want to say that Kavanaugh is, you know, very lucky to have gone, to be able to get out of this, I should say. I mean, you know, this could have ruined his reputation. It could have ruined his career. It could have ruined everything about this guy. So it's very fortunate. He should be very, consider himself very, I guess, blessed to be able to overcome all of this. So with that being said, I thank you all for joining me on this edition of The Mouth That Roared. I am Chris Sheehan, and goodbye, everybody.